Hello everyone, if you are someone who has not completed their syllabus as of now, or if you are someone who has completed everything and has revised all the test papers and done all the practice sets, and you still want to know how to revise in this last 7 days so that you can efficiently finish everything up and have the easiest of exams, then you are exactly in the right video, because in this video today we are going to discuss this same topic. We are going to share 5 essential steps that are going to help you have the easiest and the smoothest exam that you have ever had. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. Step number 1 is analyze previous year's question papers. Now this is one of the most important and one of the most used techniques, tried and tested, and that works every single time. So you need at least 5 years of question papers from the previous years. Now make sure that if you are an HSLC candidate from SEBA, in 2021 there was no HSLC final, so you're not going to get any question paper from there. And in 2022 the total syllabus was reduced by 40%. So the question paper that you are going to get is not going to contain 40% of the syllabus, and as a result may not be as useful, but you can keep it for reference. So other than those 2 years, collect 5 years of question papers and then analyze it. Now how to analyze? Well, when you go through the topics, you need the topics, not the exact questions. Make sure of this, that you need the topics, not the exact questions. Once you get the topics, you are going to see that some of the topics are repeated every single year, every consecutive year, and those are the topics that you can expect this year as well. Now there are certain topics that you are going to see that are repeated every alternate year, like some of the questions are going to come in 2016, then 18, 20, 22, and there are some questions that you can see are repeated every odd years, like 17, 19, 21, and 23 maybe. So these are the topics. From there you will understand which topics are more likely to be there and which are less likely to be there. So we are not looking into which are not going to be there. We are more focused towards what is the most probable question that is going to come in the exam, and this 1 week we are trying to focus exactly on those topics, because the most important topics will be covered in these 7 days. The whole year you have studied everything else. These 7 days focus on the most important ones. So if you are someone who has completed everything, you need to revise on the most important topics. If you are someone who has not completed anything, you still want to revise on the important topics. So this is going to be one of the best steps to start. Point number 2 is going to be a game changer for everyone. These are the 45 marks objective questions which contain MCQs and 1 mark short questions. Now for this, there's only one thing that you need to follow, the most common thing: test papers. Test papers are going to be the game changer here, because you are going to get 80 to 90% common questions from the test papers. You can write it down, because you are going to find those questions that have appeared in different districts in this test repeated in the HSLC exam. The topics are going to be similar. Now don't tell me, sir, exactly the same words were not there. Of course they are not going to be there, but the question topics are going to be 80 to 90% common. Make sure of that. Now what you need to do, collect the test papers. I would suggest the master's test paper rather than the oriental one, because master's has containing more number of boards, district boards, than the oriental one. So go for the master test paper. You are going to get around 24 boards for majority of the subjects. Just go out there and solve all the questions. Practice all the questions of 1 mark MCQ and the 1 mark questions, objective questions. Once you do that, you are going to be fully equipped and you are going to kill it in the exam when it comes to the 1 mark questions. And these 45 marks, actually essentially they are 50% of the theory marks. So once you do that, once you complete that, you are going to have all the armor and all the artillery that you need to win the war. So make sure you complete the test paper thoroughly. Point number 3 is one of my most amazing points, because here we know how to manage the time. Time management has been one of the major issues for students, and in this topic, in point number 3, we're going to see how we're going to do it. And this is my most favorite topic. I discuss it with my students. I've discussed it in many of my videos, and this time I need to tell you, it is the Pomodoro technique. This is a game changer for many of the people. With my personal experience, I have done it during my student life, and I want you to follow. So what are you going to do in those 50 minutes? In these 50 minutes, you are going to select a topic that is going to be your target. Once you complete the target, you are going to give 10 minutes to yourself as a reward. Now, whatever you want to do, you want to go talk to your parents, you want to have some fun with your siblings, you want to listen to some music, go ahead and do that. Do not indulge in social media, because that is going to distract you. You don't want distractions. You just want to calm your mind down. Once you are done with those 10 minutes, come back another 50 minutes, set a target. Very important, set a target. Once you get the target done, 10 minutes, reward yourself. You repeat that process over and over and over again, and you are going to see how much efficient you become in those 50 hours of study. Because when the brain knows that you get a reward after you complete the task, the brain will become more focused. You are going to be more productive. So Pomodoro technique will change the way you study. I am guaranteeing you that. Go out there, try it, try this technique. It will going to help you in a huge way. Point number 4 is track your productivity. Now, how do you do this? When you start to study, your day starts suppose at around 7 a.m. If you are using the Pomodoro technique, then every 50 minutes you complete a target. So what you are going to do, you create a table, time and topics covered. From 7 to 7:50, what topic you have covered. From 8 to 8:50, what topic you have covered. 9 to 9:50, what topic you have covered. And when you keep that track, you keep the journal for the whole day, by the end of the day, you are going to realize that you have done what you needed to do, or you have fallen short of what you wanted to do. When you have that clarity in your mind, the next day when you start the day, you will know exactly what to do, and that is going to put you in the driver's seat. You are not going to stay behind for long. The more you keep the track, the more you keep a documentation of what you are doing every single day, every single hour of the day, you are going to become more and more productive the very next day. And before you know it, you are going to be completing the syllabus. Point number 5 is the most important point that everyone needs to keep track, and that is get enough sleep. I can't emphasize enough on this point. Most of the people will ignore this point because they will think, okay, that's something I don't want to hear. Let's skip point number 5. But I'm telling you, with my personal experience, I've seen my friends studying overnight, over studying before the exam, and during the exam, what happens? Brain fade. And this is the worst thing that can happen to you. It does not matter if you are super brilliant student or if you are not as good, but if you have a brain fade, you just can't remember anything. I have seen students going out there in the exam, sitting in the exam hall, and can't write anything. Brilliant students, very good students, because they have overstudied, they have exhausted their brain, they are not able to remember anything, they are not able to recall anything that they have studied. So you need enough sleep, and by enough sleep I mean 6 to 8 hours. Don't go for less than 6 hours, and don't make it above 8 hours, because at this age you don't need to study for, you don't need to sleep for more than 8 hours, because you are young, you are fresh, you can maintain yourself with 8 hours of sleep. But please do not go below 6 hours of sleep. Your brain needs to recharge, it needs to rest. If your parents are saying that no, you need to study 18, 19, 20 hours in a day, tell them, if you have done this for the rest of the year, very good. If you are still functional, very good. But if in these days you do the same thing, there are high chances you are going to have an exhausted brain during the exam, and you will not perform as you are supposed to. You will let yourself down, your parents down, and your teachers down, and you don't want that to happen. So make sure in these last 7 days before the exam, you take enough rest. Sufficient rest, don't overdo it. Sufficient rest, 6 to 8 hours of sleep every single day till the end of the exam, and you will be good to go. And if you follow these 5 points that I have discussed today, you are going to have the smoothest of sails during this exam, and you are going to perform way better than you have even imagined yourself to do. So trust me, follow these 5 steps and you will be good to go. So all the best everyone, and until next time, cheers.